It is an honor to be back at the home of Gino DeMarco, Reeve Stadium. Life doesn't get much better than this. We're going to talk some football, and I know I'm going to make the commitment because I'm really all in when it comes to Geneva College and the faith-based education. Plus, I see all of the banners of many of these sponsors that have been friends of mine for a long time, so I'm going to try to make it here. No, I will be here every Thursday to take care of the coach in this great program. But I want to start off by saying thank you to Christine Lair, who's the sports information director. She's helping us shoot this video, and it's nice to see a young woman of faith in a nice position at a great college, so give her a little love.
Oh, absolutely. She's responsible for making all of us look better than when she
You look good, Coach.
So she does a good job of it.
Listen, Marietta, tough loss.
Oh, yeah.
I know. But after that 1-point loss, you guys came back in a big way and had a nice win. This Trey Marshall, 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then he follows up against Bethany. Just an incredible performance. Talk about this guy and why he's meant so much to this football team in this triple option offense. And he is a junior from Quaker Valley.
Well, Trey's got a great life story. It's far greater than, gaining almost 450, 60 yards in 2 games. And how he got here to Geneva. And I think he's going to have an opportunity to share that with a lot of people. And when I mean a great life story, I think it's something that will help a lot of young people that are struggling.
Talk to me about him. How did he matriculate?
He's graduated from Quaker Valley, had a couple D2 offers. We brought him in. We had him as a slot receiver when we were throwing the ball a lot, and then we decided to move him to our B-back, which is the featured back in this offense. And last year, he would have been a 1,000-yard rusher, missed out by a couple of yards. But he's a tremendous young man. He's married, a man of faith, and just his life story. I think it may be good for us to get him on here to just talk about it because there'll be a lot of people that can be helped by his story.
All right, Bethany, 268 yards, total offense, 369 yards. You beat them. You're now even on the year, and you got St. Vincent here under the lights, PAC conference game, Beaver County night at Reeve Stadium. So all in all, I'm going to kind of take you through the timeline, some of the players in that, but just first 2 games of the year.
A little disappointed. We played on the road, won a big road game, probably the biggest road win we've had in maybe 6 years, and that was great for our program. We needed that. I like the way the kids responded, our players responded after a very difficult loss. But Rob, we can get so much better. We're doing some things that, as a coach, it just keeps you up at night, like fumbling the ball, penalties. But I can't say enough about this attitude. The attitude of this football team reminds me of those days when we would, do TV shows and whatnot. It's the same kind of grit. It's grit, is what it is. That's exactly what it is. And these kids bring it. And the coaching staff we have now is, it just supports these young men. It's a great fit.
Triple option, and one of them is to throw, something I think you're not going to do a lot of, but when you do it, this young man, Brian Stratford, had some success. A couple of touchdown passes, Bethany, Monteleone, of course, Nick, the wide receiver. But tell me about him and telling the quarterback, this is what you do, but you don't throw the football as often. He's a team player, there's that grit, but when you're a quarterback, and there was a guy by the name of Joe Namath who
played on this field.
Yeah, number 19, that who used to like to air it out a little bit. And I can only imagine Coach Bruno saying, Joe, maybe you might want to hand off to Butch Ryan a little bit more. Talk to me about his attitude, and that speaks volumes, I think, of the team aspect of what you're talking about.
Well, Brian was a running back for us last year, so any pass he throws is a bonus for him.
Nice.
In this triple option offense, it just involves a dive, it involves the quarterback run, it involves a pitch, and it's all based upon being able to read the defense. It's used primarily by teams like Army, Navy, Air Force, Georgia Tech, where I got a chance to go down and talk with them. And each of those institutions have a uniqueness about them. Even the Citadel in Wofford runs this. And we felt that until we got a kid like Zach Hayward. When Zach Hayward came from Blackhawk, Zach's probably going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks Geneva's had. I mean, there's no question one of the top 3, 4 that's been here forever. Before he came, we were actually thinking about going into the triple option. And when you got Zach, I mean, that we just aired it out. Everybody was entertained, and you know, their scores were like 56, 53, old AFL games, you know. But now we're doing something completely different that people are kind of annoyed with because it's a throwback to 1960s football. And I got to tell you, it's phenomenal. We're playing defense, we run the clock, and these kids are unselfish because they don't know who's getting the ball.
All right, listen, now you got St. Vincent, and I'm a big fan of that school, obviously Catholic faith. Steelers, Mr. Rooney, Kevin Colbert, you know, Dad started the program. He reminded me, which I did not know. Kevin married a beautiful young lady from Beaver Falls. Michael Navarro, 24-33, school record, 14-1 guy. Damon Black Jr.
Yeah.
They beat Teal. So
yeah, we know Damon Black very well. We recruited him very hard out of Florida, out of Lakeland, and he is quite the football player. The other young man's from Central Catholic, the quarterback. They've got a lot of toys to play with on offense. Let me tell you, it'd be worth the price of admission for people to come.
Beaver County night. Are you kidding me?
They gotta come.
All right,
Nobody's paying to get in. Right. Go ahead.
Listen, I didn't know that. Really?
I just said that. I probably shouldn't have. But
Wow. Maybe I can.
I got a few.
I can
extra
afford to
tickets.
come.
Yeah.
No, listen.
There is a hole right there on the fence. You can probably.
All seriousness, there's nothing better than college football here, under the lights on Saturday night.
There isn't.
No.
I mean, the band itself, the band is incredible. Donnie Kephart, what he does here is amazing. Cheerleaders, the fans, the students, you know, and then you got the concession stand that's phenomenal. And by the way,
and you got Bob Berrickman and Jeff Hathorn and WBBP.
oh yeah,
It's all good, brother.
And then by the way, there'll be a football game.
A good football game. I just had a chance to meet Bryant Wyatt from Salem, Ohio United, where he went to school. Zach Hall of Irwin, Torrin Salas of Butler, Joe Shively, Monaca, of course, Central Valley. These are some of the guys who came up big last week, double-digit tackles. So defense, just talk a little defense, and we're going to shift gears and talk about the Steelers defense as they get ready to take on Sam Bradford, who has found a home with Minnesota. That game coming up Sunday at 1 o'clock, Heinz Field, and on the Fox television network with Kenny Albert on the play-by-play. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, defensively, because of Trey's crazy numbers that he got, it was the second most by any running back in the history of the school. The defense, I think, got somewhat overlooked in last week's win. Bethany had the ball 3 times in the red zone and came away with nothing. So our young guys up front, we got a young defensive line. They're getting better and better. The young man you talked about, Brian Wyatt, Torrin Salas, who played his high school ball at Moon.
Cameron Mack.
Oh yeah, I mean we've got kids. We've got kids that Jared Hogue, Joey Shively from Central Valley, Hogue's from Freedom. I mean these kids are have bought in, and our defensive staff with Coach Feltrup running the defense is outstanding. And I think we're going to get better. So, but you know, on all this talk, Rob, it's just that it's talk. I mean, we better put up or shut up on Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of football left, but I kind of like this whole conference thing. I like this schedule. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's what this level of football is all about. You got Waynesburg for the homecoming on October 7th. Rather, I love Waynesburg. October 14th, Carnegie Mellon, you're there. October 21st, home, Case West, another night game. 28th, Grove City. November the 4th, W&J at 1 o'clock, and then November the 11th, Westminster. The game of all games at 1 o'clock. So I like those matchups.
Yeah, you can go to a game and get back, you know, before the sun sets.
Yeah, but you can also get a few night games too, and then of course the 23rd it's Teal. So there you have it. Stick around. We're going to talk some NFL football. You ready?
Bring it on. Let's go.
Let's go. That's next. Gino DeMarco and I at Geneva College, and of course the campus, Reeves Stadium, Beaver Falls. Back in a moment. Stay with us.